We are going to get started because I know I heard Julie's clock go off, which always tells us it's time to go a little hiking with the club. We've got Seth in the house. Hey, Seth. Hey, Beth and Alyssa. Hi, Julie.
Julie's my Twinkie today.
Hey, Elaine. That's right.
Hey.
There with your shirts. Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Hello,
Hi,
Jen.
Rachel.
Hi, Emily.
You're gonna come back on.
And Kendall, nice to see you. Hello, Philip.
Hey.
Hi. Hello, Emily.
Hey.
And Josh and Alex, iPhone 6 and Teddy. I'm so glad everyone could join today for our virtual hiking club meeting. Can
Me too.
tell me which country we're exploring today? Raise your hand if you know.
Bulgaria.
What's the country?
Oh.
Go ahead, Kendall. I think we may have heard it, but what do you think?
Well, send me thing on her. Bulgaria.
Yes, nice, everybody.
My Echo Show even reminded me about the meeting. It'll do that if I do like 15 minutes before or something.
Oh, man.
Wonderful, Emily. I love that. So before I sent out the email last Friday with a few videos for us to watch to prepare, had anyone heard of Bulgaria? Raise your hand if you already knew about Bulgaria.
Nope.
So this is a new country for most of us. Well, you all, I am so excited to introduce to you later in the meeting someone who is originally from Bulgaria, and her name is Teddy. And Teddy is actually my sister, and she joined our family in 2013. So when she that's right, and she joined us as a very young lady in her teens. So she has memories from her time there in Bulgaria, and she'll be sharing some insights about the country with us after we get started. So first, I'd like to know who was able to watch one or more of the videos that I sent out last week.
I watched all of them.
Nice, Julie. So for those of you who watched the videos, was there anything that jumped out at you that you want to share with the group that you thought was really cool or exciting?
I can't believe how she climbed all those rocks.
Climbing on those rocks.
Climbing all those rocks all the way up.
Oh, was that the first video, Julie, with the 7 lakes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll learn more today about some of the mountains. There are a lot of mountains in Bulgaria. And I'll just tell you now how many there are. 400. Over 400 mountains.
Wow.
Oh, that's a lot of water.
It's a mountainous area.
That's a lot. That's
in
crazy.
the world. So I'd like to show you all on the map where it is.
Oh, careful.
Okay, and while we get going,
I heard an elephant.
Oh, yeah, too.
Noise in the background. So go ahead and mute yourselves if you don't have anything to add.
Sorry, there's somebody in the bathroom screaming.
And then if you have something to add, you can unmute yourself to speak. So here we are. I'm going to zoom out so you know where it is in the world. Okay, we're in Eastern Europe in Bulgaria. And then for us, over in Chattanooga, Tennessee, we are all the way over here.
Mm-hmm.
And Teddy is zooming in from Washington. Washington. So we're representing a good bit of the world today. Getting a little closer to Bulgaria, you see it's surrounded by Romania, Serbia, Greece, Turkey.
Oh, yeah, I see it.
This is the Black Sea right here. So we'll get more into this once Teddy joins us about where she's from, specifically in Bulgaria. But just to give you an overview, Julie, that video that you watched, the first one in the mountains, that was down here, I believe, in the Ryla Mountains.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to change to satellite view so you can see how mountainous it really is.
Does Bulgarian lives in city?
Say that again, Phil.
Did Bulgaria live in cities?
Does Bulgaria have cities?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bulgaria does have cities. Bulgaria is an interesting blend of the country and some very local cities that go back for hundreds and thousands of years. These are very old cities.
Do they have monsters?
Well, Bill, it depends on how you would define a monster. Some people might say there are with folklore, but others might say, nah, no monsters. It's a good question.
Yeah.
Joins us. Are there any Bulgarian monsters in the mountains? So, because only a few
Any
of us
monsters in
watched
Bulgaria?
the videos, I wanted to share a little snippet from a couple of them that I thought was really good to give us an idea of the country and some of the hiking there. And we'll go over that before Teddy joins us and talks more about the culture and what life was like in the country. Okay, get ready for a couple short little videos. And then with one of these, there was a lot of really amazing drone footage of the mountains and the countryside. It's hard for me to pick between all of the videos for which was the best one. But I did choose just one, and as we see some of the footage from the sky or the aerial view, then I'll be giving you some more fun facts about the region. Before I get started, are there any questions?
No.
Okay. Well then, Alyssa, let's do it.
Let's do this.
Okay, this one is pretty entertaining, and it gives us a good
Yeah, let's do
Bulgaria. Here we go.
Bulgaria, Bulgaria, Bulgaria. Where have I heard that before? Oh yeah, Victor Crumb from the Harry Potter books. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, now you want to watch this episode, right? It's time to learn geography. Now! Here white, green, and red. When it comes to symbolism, even Bulgarians themselves aren't 100% sure exactly what each band means. However, it's generally accepted that they are inspired by the Pan-Slav nationalist movement colors. However, it's also kind of accepted that these are the definitions. The white represents love and peace and freedom and spirituality. The green represents the youthfulness as a new liberated state, agriculture, character, and the beauty of nature. And the red represents the valor and, once again, the blood spilled of those who fought for the country and for the heroes of Bulgaria. Okay, that was kind of easy. Moving on. Very few people actually know where Bulgaria is on a map, but when you look at it, you'll kind of realize that its position is kind of important to the entire continent of Europe. First of all, Bulgaria is located on the eastern part of the Balkan Peninsula, bordered by 5 other countries and the Black Sea to the east. Since Bulgaria is Europe's closest point to Turkey, it's kind of seen as like the crossroads between Europe and Asia. The capital is Sofia, located in the west, and the country is divided into 28 provinces, and the capital Sofia acts as its own province as well. Sofia has a wonderfully unique ambiance as a city that still retains its residue shavings from the former Soviet identity, but with a modern westernized democratic appeal that exudes through the billboards and media. About 80% of the border with Romania rests on the mighty Danube River, and the borders with Serbia, Macedonia, or the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and Greece rest on the mountains and hills like the Balkan Range, the Pirin Range, and the Rhodope Range. Bulgaria is very lucky because in addition to having a nice geological mountainous shell to encapsulate the eastern side, they have a wonderful Black Sea to the east, which has played a heavily influential role in the development of the Bulgarian nation. The coast is classified as a humid subtropical climate zone with an abundance of pristine golden beaches, the most popular ones off the coast of Varna and Burgas. In the Black Sea, Bulgaria owns 5 small islands and islets, each named after a saint and each with a unique charm and backstory. For example, St. Thomas Island is one of the only places in all of Bulgaria where cacti grow. St. Ivan Island, which supposedly has the remains of John the Baptist from the Bible, and St. Anastasia Island, which had a jail that prisoners escaped escaped from long ago. Bulgaria's land comprises of a lot of history, to say the very least. In the south, by the Gorna Krepost, you have the Perperikon, the Thracian city ruins of the strange ancient culture of the Thracians. In Kazanluk, you have the Thracian tomb of Kazanlak. Yeah, the ancient culture of Thrace had kind of a lot to do with this area. Nobody quite exactly knows what the downfall of the Thracians were, but reading in
Okay, we're going to pause the video right there. If you want to see more and did not have a chance to watch it before the meeting, then you can go back to those links I sent on Friday and check it out. He, I think, is a pretty entertaining describer of these different regions in the world. So
Does
now
Bulgaria
we
have
have an
food?
idea of where Bulgaria is on the map and some of the features, the geological features with the Danube River and the Balkan Mountains and some of those other mountain ranges. So you can imagine there's a lot of hiking in Bulgaria, right? With all these mountains and a lot of views to see in the countryside. Philip, do you have a question?
Did they have money in Bulgaria?
Yes, they do, Philip. And I actually have a picture of their currency that we'll get to later in the meeting. Because their currency or their money is different than the US dollar. So we use a different form of money here than they do there in Bulgaria. Great question. Who here likes horses and ponies?
Do they have hotels?
Another short little snippet to show you some wild Bulgarian ponies up in the mountains from this man's hiking experience at 7 Lakes. Julie, you probably know what I'm talking about. Okay, here is another little
found some horses, eh? Yeah. I was planning on making friends with a horse, but all of a sudden I found myself becoming besties with a super cute donkey. I've got a big puppy dog now. Nice. Look at it. So cute. Almost fits into a car. I mean, depending on the car. The more time we spent at 7 Villa Lakes, the more we liked it. The lakes were stunning, the horses were friendly, the mountains were gorgeous, and the whole scenery incredibly calming. So we were content to simply admire the views and chill big time. This is pretty much the end of our hike today. We were supposed to go up there on that hill, because from that point you can see all the 7 lakes that currently surround us. But we're completely satisfied with our current situation. We're surrounded by horses, beautiful views, beautiful lakes, and to be completely honest with you, we're a little tired after all those days in that car. We did well over 2,000 kilometers and stuff. So we just want to call it a day and just chill a bit. Even though we had to leave soon, Andriukas had no plans of doing so and decided to take a little power nap.
Aww. I like that.
Later that evening.
Oh, pretty cute, huh?
Mm-hmm.
That's cute.
So those mountains, everyone, are just south of the capital of the country, which, did anyone catch the name of the capital from the video?
No.
Rita. Rita.
That's close. Those are the Rila Mountains. The capital of Bulgaria is Sofia. And that's
Sofia,
on
okay.
the eastern side of the country. So a lot of the Balkan range is in the western and southern side of the country. So anything that I'm saying that's wrong, by the way, Teddy will correct when she jumps on here with us, because she knows better than I do. Philip, do you have something to add?
Did they have gem mine in Bulgaria?
I don't know know about that, Phil, but they do have a lot of natural mineral springs.
Mineral springs?
Yes, they do, which leads me into our very next video. And this is the one I was telling you about where it's just footage, there are no words. And I'm going to lower the volume so I can tell you a few more fun facts about Bulgaria as you see this beautiful scenery. So this will be just a couple of minutes, and then Teddy's going to join us and share with us some of her experiences.
Do they have food?
Okay. So as we talked about, there are over 400 mountains in the country of Bulgaria.
400 mountains.
Look at this place.
And Bulgaria is known for its roses. Do we have any rose fans out there?
The what?
The flower, the rose.
Oh,
Bulgaria
yeah.
grows a lot of roses. So many that there is a famous Bulgarian rose oil that's very expensive and popular perfume. And 1 gram, small amount of this oil is made from 1,000 rose blossoms. That's a lot of roses.
Damn.
So you can see from some of these pictures, there are a lot of trees, like this one here. For the entire country, 1/3 of the country is covered in forest.
Of the forest?
Myself, I said 400. I'm just going to turn that volume off completely. So I made a mistake. I'm sure Teddy would have corrected me. I said
Do they
40,
have islands?
but it's 40. You know, I sometimes miss my zeros.
Why? Chicken
40 mountains.
Wow, they have a
Right.
island.
But because there are these mountains, 40 is still a lot. There's a lot of skiing and snowboarding that you can do on those mountains in the wintertime.
No, thank you.
Winter time. It's like a sea.
I'm not that brave.
So an interesting media fact for you.
Well, that's pretty.
If anyone here is on Facebook, then you may or may not know that the owner of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, his grandfather is an immigrant from Bulgaria. And Mark is actually named after his grandfather, Marco.
Yeah.
We were
Wow.
talking, Phil, about the mineral springs. There are over 600 in the country of Bulgaria, which is the highest number of natural mineral springs in continental Europe.
Wow. Look at the palace.
Yes, there are some palaces.
Pretty.
Well, that's pretty.
That is pretty.
Look at the swans. What kind of swan is this?
I'm not sure.
Dude, look at that. That's pretty.
That is pretty.
That is pretty.
We're talking about really big.
So this
There are a
video,
lot of vampires, right?
this video is showing us the whole range of the country. You'll see the mountains and the valleys,
Right.
the lakes and the cities and the palaces. We don't have time to watch the whole thing because I want to give enough time to our special guest. But I
Do they have Hebrew?
good way to see most of the country in one short video.
Man.
Ready for the next pitch with Evan Williams. Bourbon done right. Now Creed has to lock back in. Top of the order with the podium.
Michelle, your sister and my sister are neighbors. My
Really?
my sister was originally from Romania.
Wow. That's amazing. Well, with that, Teddy, if you can, we're ready for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, Teddy.
Hi.
Good to see you.
You
Hi,
too.
Katie.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi. So,
Hi.
can you tell us where you are right now?
Where am I? I'm in my house right now.
You guys froze.
And,
What?
and Teddy, I'm trying to give you guys an introduction to Bulgaria. But I'm missing a lot of key points.
Oh, Johnson.
I'm hoping you can inside scoop from you on. And to get us started, before we start, actually, you guys, I'm hearing a lot of background noise. So if you would, please mute yourself until you have a question.
Seats and masks required. Plus low fare starting at $49 one way.
Otherwise, we will mute you all for you.
We're still working from.
Okay, perfect. So, Teddy, I have a little presentation to launch some conversation for us and for everyone watching.
You guys are frozen.
If you have questions, then you can put them in the chat box, or you can raise your hand on the side and we'll look for you, or just make a quick comment and we'll try to answer that question as we go. Otherwise, we'll leave some time at the end for question and answer. Okay. So, as I was saying, Teddy and I met in the year 2013, and that's when we became sisters. And I was lucky enough to be able to fly over there to Bulgaria, to the village where Teddy is from. And Teddy, do you want to tell us?
You guys are frozen.
Do you want to tell us a little bit more about where you're from in Bulgaria?
I grew up in an orphanage in Bulgaria, and it was in a little village called Barzita. And I just grew up around a lot of other kids, and they were kind of like my brothers and sisters while growing up, and we had so much fun. What else can I tell you? It's so hard when I have to think about it.
Yeah. Do you want to share anything about your trips to the Black Sea?
Oh yeah, so every summer we would have a summer vacation, and we would go to the Black Sea, and we would spend like 2 weeks there, and like every day we would go to the Black Sea and swim.
I still can't hear you guys. It like freezes up and then it stops.
Teddy, hold on just a second. Hey, Kendall. We can't see you either. It may be your internet connection. You might want to leave and come back to the meeting. Okay.
I can't hear.
Go ahead, Teddy.
Yeah, so we had summer vacations, and we went to the sea. We swam. We did this thing where it was kind of like camping, but like in lodges, kind of. So it wasn't really camping, but like we were.
I can't see you guys or hear you.
We were very far away from the orphanage, so we just like stayed there for 2 weeks and just did anything pretty much we wanted. We had supervision, of course, so we didn't go too crazy, but it was so much fun.
Nice, nice. And I pulled this picture from the internet just to show some of the countryside, which was very different than Sofia, the capital. And Teddy, is this a fair representation? A lot of cattle and pastures?
Yes. we
Michelle,
had,
I
like,
can
a lot
barely
of-
hear you.
Hey, Kendall, can you hear
You
me?
guys like glitch out and then.
Kendall, I think I need you to leave and then come back. Okay, Teddy, go ahead.
Yes. So we had a lot of loose cattle. We had all sorts of animals. We would have shepherds that would like herd their sheep throughout the village. It was just very like in the country kind of like I don't like it's not the way how it is here. Over there you would have like older people around. You would have their like animals free. Like it was very homey and welcome, and you just knew everybody.
Yeah, nice. That's a great description. So I put this in here, Teddy, to show our trip from the village where you're from to the capital. So that bus ride, when I tried to make a bus ride, it said they're not currently running the bus because of COVID-19. So it wouldn't show me the route. But this is a typical road route between those two locations in the country. So you can see everyone on the map. This is going basically from the eastern side all the way to the western side of the country. And we did this bus ride. Was it 6 hours, Teddy, on the bus?
Either 6 or 7. But yeah, and we had to switch buses because of how the transportation works.
Right, and I think
yeah.
that bus transfer was in Plovdiv.
Yeah.
And that was a very old.
Wait, what did you say?
Did I say Plovdiv?
You were close enough. But I was just like, what did you say?
So you guys, when we first adopted Teddy, and Yanka is our other sister, Teddy and Yanka knew some English, and we knew very little Bulgarian. The one thing that I knew I'm going to stop sharing real quick so we can see each other's faces. So the one thing I knew how to say was, I'm sorry, I don't know how to speak Bulgarian. And I got to where people thought I said it well enough that they didn't believe me, and they would keep talking in Bulgarian as if I could understand. So Teddy, see if I got the pronunciation right. If I'm going to say, I'm sorry, I do not speak Bulgarian, it would be Zhelavam ne govoro bulgarski. How'd I do?
It's close enough, but like you would have to work some of the kinks out. But if you said that to me, I could understand you.
Okay. Teddy, can you teach us how to say hello in Bulgarian?
The short version or the long version? Because there's lots of ways. There's a lot of ways to say hi.
How about
you can say zdrasti or zdravey. I don't know which one's easier for you guys to pronounce. So
Zdravey.
Zdravey.
Zdravey. If you all would like to unmute yourselves, we can practice that together. So we're walking up to one another in Bulgaria and we say Zdravey.
Zdravey. Zdravey.
Nice, Josh. Nice.
Zdravey.
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 And then, Teddy, what would you say next in Bulgarian? Would you say, how are you?
Yes, and that is kaksi.
Taxi.
Taxi.
Yes. Taxi.
Taxis.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to keep on. It looks like a couple of us have some unstable internet connections, Emily and Kendall. The only thing I can suggest for that is to try leaving the meeting and then rejoining, or finding another location in your home that might have a better connection. So we're going to jump back to this presentation. I found just this one picture from our first day together. So this was in April of 2013. After that long bus ride from Brzica, Bulgaria to Sofia. And this was our hotel when we were all so exhausted, could hardly understand one another.
It's so fun.
What hotel did you stay in?
So So that was just a
Oh,
picture.
okay.
Otherwise, I'll have to dig to find more from that trip.
What hotel did you stay in?
We stayed in Sofia for about a week to finalize some paperwork.
Countryside.
Yes. So I have just a few pictures, Teddy, that I pulled from the internet for the countryside of Bulgaria to showcase some of what you'll see.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah, some more.
It is.
That is
I
pretty.
love that horse.
I'm not sure, Julie. But Teddy, do you want to share anything more with us about the countryside? I know you mentioned some about how people were very friendly and close, and a lot of.
Oh yeah. So you know how people have orchards here and you can't walk through them unless you're invited? Well, over there, people don't care. They're fine. You could just walk through anybody's backyard if you wanted to, because everybody just knew everybody, and it was just really nice. And especially with how small our village was, we didn't have very many people. It was mostly us. Uh, so it was really fun, and we had like places. We had this like little meadow that took us to a forest we had. So we would always take walks up there. So it was like kind of a little hike. We had this huge sliding hill that we would slide down when it was winter. We had a huge playground. It was just I feel like we just had pretty much everything that we needed.
Do they have food?
Oh.
But
yes.
Go ahead, Michelle.
I'm going to scoot forward to another picture where I included some food.
Yeah. The food there is very different.
Dude, that looks yummy.
Yeah.
I don't think this is exactly right for the shopska salad.
No, it's not. That is not what it looks like.
I didn't see the picture up close, but can you tell us more about some of the key foods that you would find in Bulgaria?
We ate a lot of fresh foods over there. So we didn't have a lot of fast food restaurants like people do here. Like we do have like an occasional McDonald's and stuff like that, but it was in the big cities. So mostly it was home cooked food, and we would just like make a lot of stew kind of food. We had like lots of fresh vegetables and fruits, and especially like it would get so warm in the summer. We had a lot of dishes that were made cold, so it was really good. That is probably the one thing that I really miss about Bulgaria. It's the food. They have amazing food over there. Yes, they do. But they don't eat beef as much over there as you guys do here. So over there was more like lamb, pork, chicken, like everything else, but beef was not a big one that people ate. It was like their cows were for milk and cheese and dairy products instead of food.
Milk and cheese?
Yes.
So, Teddy, how do you feel about feta cheese?
I don't like it because it's not good.
What kind of cheese?
In Bulgaria, we had a special cheese that's like native to Bulgaria that they make like from scratch. And it was just it's so much like it looks like feta cheese, but it tastes so much different. And that is probably one of my favorite things that I miss because it was just the best thing ever.
Somebody feels good.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard some music in the background. Teddy, do you remember the family in Longview from Bulgaria, and that they would get their cheese in 5-gallon buckets from a larger city, Portland, Oregon, because they liked it so much? Bulgarian white cheese, right? Yeah, so it's a real thing. Cheese is very big in Bulgaria. Oh, Teddy, you're muted.
Yeah, and the yogurt is all different too. Like it doesn't have, I mean, they do make it flavored, but there's it's like a, what is it? It's like a kind of like a kefir / yogurt kind of thing that they have. And it's sour and salty instead of sweet. That was also like people use it a lot for cooking and just to eat it
Sour
plain.
salty?
I don't know how to explain it. Like it wasn't sour; it just had a bite to it. Like I don't know how to explain it, Michelle.
So I found some information about that online for why it's so special, because the world recognizes that the culture of the yogurt in Bulgaria is different, and it is extra good. So this is what I found about that. Let me see it on my list of fun facts. Okay, Bulgarian yogurt is considered the best in the world. No doubt. This is thanks to the unique bacteria used for its production that can only be found on the territory of the country.
Wow.
So
Do they
that's
have
at least what I
money?
found online. And Teddy, you're muted again.
I know.
I think that Julie had a question, and then I think that we've got one for you, Teddy, in the chat. Go ahead, Julie. What's your question?
What kind of yogurt do you have at Dale? I mean,
What kind of yogurt? Well, they do make the they make the sweet the sweet ones like strawberry, like they do flavored yogurts. But the one that Michelle was talking about, it's made from what was it? It's some sort of like it's kind of like buttermilk a little bit, but like harder.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's probably the closest you would like. I could like describe it to. It's probably it kind of tastes like buttermilk, but it's a little different, and it's like solid like yogurt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any kind of fruit instead of strawberry?
You could put anything in it. They do all sorts of yogurt. They do like you could have blueberry. You could have just about anything.
Okay.
It's like kind of
Thank you.
yeah. It's kind of like here.
Nice. Kindle asked a question in the chat box, asking what kind of food, and Emily's also asking what kind of milk was used for that.
Oh. So it sometimes it will be it's like they do different things for different dairy products. So sometimes you would use goat milk, sheep milk, cow milk. So it just depended on which what you were making.
Okay, great. And we've got a question from Phil. Go ahead, Philip.
What kind of money do they have?
Oh, our currency was called levove, which is like you had your coins. Yeah, there's a picture there, and then it's paper money. Yeah,
Wow.
but it's called lev. Yeah.
Lev?
So
yes.
Pause real quick with the questions, because Teddy, there's something really special in Bulgaria that I'd like for you to tell us more about, and that is Baba Marta.
Yeah, so we celebrate Baba Marta on 1st of March, and we give each other these bracelets that are made out of white and red thread, and we either like make them into a bracelet or a pin, and we give them to each other, and it's for like good luck, and like it's kind of like a, how do I explain it, like it's like to show people you care kind of thing. It's like to signify like they hope like you have prosperity in the future. It's kind of like that. It's really hard to explain.
Yeah, and I had included something over here about these martinitsas. And is that what you call
That's what it's called, martinitsa.
Martinitsas. And that it represents life or birth, for
Yep.
a clear new beginning and good health.
Mhm.
So it was interesting because we came over to Bulgaria in April, and this celebrates March 1st. The first time I learned about it was from Teddy in Sofia when we saw on these trees all of these bracelets, red and white bracelets hanging down from the trees. And
Oh yeah.
interpreter.
There's actually a thing about that. So you wear the bracelets or pins for a certain amount of time. Oh, until you see a stork, because we actually have those there. So when you see a stork, you either tie it on the tree or put it under a rock. And it supposedly like a stork came down and took your martinita. And if he did, it means it's good luck for the rest of the year, or like whatever you the reason you tied it will come true kind of thing. And so and if you put it under a rock, if there's like bugs under the rock, it means that you have a good year kind of thing. So it's kind of superstitious, but it's a fun thing to do. And sometimes we would actually mess with each other, and whoever tied like a martinita on the tree, somebody else will go take it off and be like, "Oh look, somebody took your martinita."
And
it was really fun.
You said, Teddy, it's if you see a stork, that means good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you have to take it off and tie it, but yes, also that.
Okay.
Take it off and tie it?
Tie it on the branch of a tree, yes.
Tie
So
it
if
on
you're
a
wearing it
branch
as
of
a
a tree?
bracelet, yeah, it's a weird thing.
It's very
It is
unique
fun.
to Bulgaria, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me show
I
you
can
a couple of other things, and then we'll do a little more question and answer. So, Teddy, I was blown away on the bus ride from Barzica, very rural part of the country, to Sofia. We would see horse-drawn carriages or buggies like this, and then
They're actually donkeys.
donkeys, and it would be passed by a very fancy BMW like this here.
Yes.
Those two modes of transportation use the same road, and we would even see them in the big city of Sofia. It was amazing to me because here in the United States, we typically just see cars on the road.
Wow.
Yeah, it's actually very normal because a lot of people will like migrate from villages to the city, especially older couples, because they want to be closer to children. So what they do is they just bring everything they have, and they're so used to in their old ways with the wagons and the mules that they're just take it with them, and you end up seeing it on the street. It's really funny, but it's cool.
It is.
Like you see both worlds kind of mesh.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that actually is all the pictures that I had in our slideshow, which is good timing because we're running out of time. So for now, if anyone does need to go, please feel free to leave the meeting. But otherwise, we can answer a few more questions here on the meeting. Kindle, you have a question?
Yes, I do. So Teddy, what kind of food do you guys have there in Bulgaria?
Oh, we have like so many different dishes from here that I'm like, I want to make this, but I can't because I don't have the products. Or like the way you would make it, it's different. Like it tastes different too, I've noticed. Because we have this lentil soup that we make that like I've almost figured it out how to make it taste the way I remember it, but it's still a little off. So, but like you would have stuff like lentils, like this bean soup that's its own thing. It's not really a soup either. It's like a mesh between a soup and a stew, kind of. But it was more thicker. You had like you just cooked with a lot of fruits and vegetables. We had like stuffed peppers that were stuffed with like what is it? It's like meat and rice meshed together, and then you bake it. That was another thing that was really good. There was just so much food that I'm like, I can't talk about it because it makes me so sad because there's no food like that here. But there's a lot of different food over there that I'm like, you guys don't have that? They're like, nope.
I think Ted, one of my favorites was the banitsa.
Oh yes, I totally forgot. We have this like traditional. It's not really a pastry, but you could definitely make it into a pastry. It's made with phyllo dough, the Bulgarian cheese that we have, and an egg wash, kind of. Yeah, an egg. It's an egg and butter wash with the cheese and the phyllo dough, and you stack it, and you bake it. It's really good, but it's savory. It's not sweet. A lot of our things are actually savory over there. Like, yeah. And we don't do desserts like here. I mean, people will make cake and stuff like that, but it's a different kind of dessert kind of thing. Yes.
So Teddy, what I did one night, I took a hot dog bun and you take nice warm refried beans and you put them right in the middle of your hot dog bun, and it's so good. It's like really good.
That may be my American style.
I know, it's so good.
Yeah.
So you gotta try that. So it's hot dog bun. Open up the middle of the hot dog bun, and then you have your warm. It's actually really good.
Yeah,
I'll definitely try it.
Really good.
Julie, I've seen your hand up. What's your question?
Did you eat any kind of pizza, Teddy?
Do I eat any kind of what?
Pizza.
Pizza. Oh yes. Also, our pizzas were very different. Like our dough was very thick, kind of thing, and they came kind of round, and it's more like individual pizzas. It's not like huge pizzas like people do here. We would do like self, like an individual pizza for a self, and you could have any toppings on it if you want. But it also tasted different. But I think it was because of the dough they used. Like they made the doughs different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good question, Julie. Josh, what's your
Did you have many Russians and Polish people come into Bulgaria before the fall of the Soviet Union?
Yeah, we actually, even while I was still there, we would like have, when we go to the Black Sea, we always had lots and lots of tourists from other countries. So it was really cool. I'm like, you might look Bulgarian, but I wouldn't know because you're speaking another language. So it was really cool to hear how many languages they were, even though like, I'm like, this is such a tiny country and we have so many visitors that just come and I'm like, it's not that cool, but I'm like, okay, it is.
And like we learned in the video, it's the gateway between all of these different countries.
Yeah. So you could have like somebody from Russia, you could have somebody from Greece, you could have somebody from Turkey. You even had American people there. So I was like, why would you want to go there?
Phyllis, for raising your hand and being so patient. What's your question?
Do they have bread?
Bread?
Yeah.
Oh yes, the bread over there was also great. How to describe bread, Michelle? It's a lot kind of like France. We're kind of snobs with our bread. Yes, we are. Yes. So when I came here, I was like, this is not bread. I'm like, no, it's not. So you do a lot of home baking with the bread. Like you know when just everything tastes so fresh and it's I don't even know how to describe it, but their breads were like a lot. It's kind of like a lot in Paris in France, but it's a lot of like it's just like a lot of old recipes. Like people would have a lot of old recipes and they would just make bread. And we had like a lot of dishes that were just like some sort of a baked good that looked like bread. But yeah.
Nice, nice. Everyone, I'm so sorry. I'm going to have to stop the questions there because we are all out of time. But please give Teddy a very warm thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much. It's really cool for us to be able to see what the country is like from your perspective. And it's just always good to see you.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you, Teddy.
Thank you, Teddy.
Welcome, everybody.
What?
So if you all have any more questions for Teddy, feel free to shoot them to me in an email and I'll pass them along to her and we can get those questions answered. So with that, I hope you all have a wonderful afternoon. Get outside and enjoy some of this sunshine today. It's gorgeous here. What's it like over there, Teddy?
It's really sunny. I was just looking at it too.
No, doesn't always happen in Washington.
I know.
Well, it's so good to see everyone. And
Hey,
thank
Michelle, this is our Halloween bear that we have, and I like to put on a little pumpkin. Look how cute!
So you're ready for Halloween.
Yeah, we decorate our house.
I am too.
That is so cute, Kendall.
And the white parts right here actually glow in the dark.
That is so cute.
The white part of it right here actually glows in the dark.
Nice, nice.
Hey, Michelle.
All right, everyone.
Orange Grove Halloween party.
See you all soon. Take care.
See you soon.
All right.
Thank you,
Stay
Michelle.
Friday.
Thank you, Elaine. Thursday.
Bye, Seth. Bye, Jimmy.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.